Yeah, hi guys, today we're going to be just taking a little look at the field of view option in Project Cars 2 using this calculator that I found on an iRacing page. It allows you to input your monitor width in centimetres or inches, millimetres, whatever, and then your viewing distance from the screen, and then it's supposed to calculate what you should be putting in your field of view option in the menus. But there's a lot to work out, a lot to read through on this web page if you're using single monitors or triple monitors. It's supposed to be able to help you calculate, removing your bezels and all sorts of things. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll try and leave a link for that page on my YouTube channel. We'll get into it looking at the options that you get in Project Cars 2. So I'm just going to take a little look today at field of view. Another member of our community has brought to my attention maybe having a look at the field of view options. So I'll just come back out of this menu and just show you where we're getting into it. So if you go into the options menu and come down to camera, and in this section you can come to this part of this section. This is what I've originally got the cockpit set on, and I'll run a video to see what it looks like. And these settings, having learned a little bit about it, really aren't being used properly at all. So I'll just give you a look at how mine looks when I'm racing using those particular settings. I feel quite low down in this, quite high in the car, or quite low in the car. So moves in a tiny bit, moves out a little bit. So let's come into the menu options and come to camera like we said. And looking at the software that I used, it suggested a field of view of 53 from the distance to the screen from my eyes and the width of the screen. So this is 70 centimetres or 72 centimetres. And the distance from my eyes to the screen is also 70 centimetres. So when we put that in the calculator, it came up to 53 point something. So let's say 54. And this is all affected by the field of view speed sensitivity. So I'm going to bring this right the way down, which is the minimum speed for the camera to start changing the field of view. So anything below 40 miles an hour is going to stay static, like the view that we've got in the background here. And anything after 40 miles per hour is going to start to adjust my field of view up until 116. Oh no, this is going to change the field of view. So let's say set the field of view. I think we initially had it at, I think this is a problem with it. This is the minimum. So let's say we set this at 70, and let's come back to the screen and have a look what it is. So that's supposedly 70. That's way too forward for me. Let's come back out of that. Options, camera. Let's bring that up to 80, shall we? See if that makes a difference. Not really. And I did it at 64 before. Even still, that's far too forward for me. No, I don't like that. Camera. Let's bring the speed sensitivity down to about 40 miles an hour, I think. And then adjust up to say 120 miles an hour, and then I'll stay at that. So maximum speed sensitivity. And tell that as far as it goes. Put that to 70. Put that to 90. So I can't see any of my mirrors at the minute. So it allows me to get right in and see the apex. I quite like that. Don't know if that feels just too high. But that feels as far as I could reach. I'd almost like that. Feels like it's too close. Like I can touch the dash. I think I'd have to reach forward to touch the dash. So I'm going to come back to the camera. See if I can take that. Not quite sure what's bringing it further away at the minute. Let's try it at 100. So that takes it a bit further away. That sort of feels like I'd have to, yeah. I'd almost like to sit higher. So you can change here seat angle up and down. Seat up and down. So if we choose that, we use up for now and down. So we can adjust that. So let's bring that much better. So I've got much more field of view. I think I'd like it to be about there. Maybe even about there, my normal field of view. And it comes right the way into there. So if we try and change that, the camera, and I'll send that a little bit further away. Let's try 70. Say about there, I think. I would like more movement in my screen. That's it, it's maximum. What if I bring this lower right the way down? Set that to 40. Do I think it needs to come in any further? let's say, let's try 95. In fact, let's try 90. If it goes too far, I'll come back a bit. Maybe just so that you can look past that pillar. So it only comes right the way in, at the very last bit. So let's get that to change. Hopefully this won't change now. Let's say keep it around there to 50 mile an hour. Hits 50 so quick. So I'm just trying to guess here, get onto a bit of a straight again. So maybe we should change that to a higher value. Let's say around 80. So it's staying much tighter in now. And then just starts to pull away. So I can see those apexes. I think I want to set that further down. Maybe I prefer it at 100. Bring this down to about 60. Yeah, I prefer a little bit further away. But again, I feel like I'm looking. As opposed to looking down at my speedo, I feel like I'm looking up at it. Because I'm quite tall and sit quite high in my seat. So I'm sort of trying to imagine the roof as well. So there, okay. So camera wise, I don't really see, obviously if you take off the field of view speed sensitivity and you turn that to no, this will all be affected then by just the cockpit camera view. So for me, as soon as you click yes on this, everything comes down to here as to where the screen's going to be set. anything lower than 100 really is taking you, I think, too close, too much into the screen, and obviously that's as far away as you can get it. Then 120, you can't get the screen to come back any further, and the speed sensitivity, you could get it to change really quickly, so it's at its maximum when you reach in, say, 120 and it doesn't go any further back. Or you could bring that up to, I don't know, as high as it goes. Yeah, I can't see the point in that really. I'd say anything really past 120 mile an hour, I want to be able to see as much as I could possibly see around me in any different car. So it starts to change at 60 miles an hour for me, and it reaches its maximum at 120 miles an hour, and it'll come out to its furthest depth at 120. I don't know what the 100 and 120 is, whether that's supposed to be, say, I don't know, say it's a meter from the screen, you could say it's a meter from your eye line to the front of the windscreen, and at a maximum, with its sort of G-force and pushing you back, you get to see 120 centimetre. I don't know what that is for, but 100 for me is this distance. Any closer than 100 starts to bring the dash far too close. And I think bringing the dash down at your eye height, if you look out of your own windscreen, my eyesight is about middle of the windscreen, which is where you generally want your eye line to be when you're looking out of the window in your own car. That's where my eye line is. So you've got your windscreen wiper and it's pretty much in this area. So let's just see how that looks possibly on another car. So again, I don't know whether this feels too high, and you're going to want to bring it down a little bit. I think you'd be sat with your head probably a little bit above this. I don't think it's that high. Sat in a Caterham. I've never sat in one in real life, so.
Okay, mate, so you stay on the outlap all the time when you start pushing hard.
This feels like a totally different animal anyway. You've already got a good sight around you. So obviously you come down then, change your camera angle and reduce the maximum distance it travels away. Let's just say to 10. So that's perfect then, it keeps all the instruments down there in my eye line. Sorry, I'm focusing on what's in my eye line now. Yeah, I mean that feels much better in this car. I'm just having a bit of fun now. But yeah, I think I'd just try a few different cars. See, again, for me, I look at this now, and I just think it's set so high. I think I need to bring that down, you know, to where the steering wheel should be in the car. Yeah, it feels about there, really. You see, I can't see any of my mirrors now. So at full speed, I get to see what's in my mirrors. focused on what I'm actually doing. But then this feels just way too much in my face, the being there, sort of right in my eye line, the mirror. Still like to bring it down a little bit, but yeah, it's very hard to tell. If you could just reach out and grab that and touch the dash, maybe that's quite a difference in reach, I think. To reach forward and grab the dash itself, or reach out and grab your mirror. It feels pretty comparative. I think it's just a case of playing with it and getting a better sense of your field of view as to what's relative to where you're sitting, especially to get the wheel in the right place. Obviously it's slightly off centre sometimes depending on where you sat, but I mean, let's have a look in a Formula 1 car. And you're going to sit low, and you know, it's like they see on Formula 1, they often say that they sort of sat looking down because the wheel's below the dash. It would sort of feel like you sat lower down, and their seats are much more reclined. Yes, I think you need to play with each one really to get the correct field of view. I don't think it is a one setting suits all vehicles, but it certainly enhances the feeling of speed. It's really a good point someone raised, setting the right field of view to get the best out of the setup that you've got. Obviously, if you've got the luxury of having 3 monitors, 3 screens, you're going to get far more feel of speed. But certainly changing the viewing angle, you know, if you wanted to sit a little bit higher in your seat, if you want to sit, you know, if you, I don't know whether it ever actually looked like that because of how they're actually sat, whether they've just got their eye line just in view of this. You could set it so your eye line's perfect with the top of the, I think just changing that, it only takes 2 minutes in the menu option, you know, just to come down and add it as one of the controls. Obviously you end up losing something else to adjust that, but if it's a car you're playing in regular, a lot of people just drive GT3, and it's probably not a massive difference from one car to the next. It's not perfect in every car, but changing it to suit the car that you're driving mostly is probably a really good idea to get the best out of the viewing angle, you could bring yourself further into this cockpit, but for me it feels like I can grab that wheel almost where I can grab this wheel. I could maybe bring it a little bit closer, and like I said before, in your options, if you just come down to your camera menu, and if you've ticked the yes for field of view speed sensitivity, this doesn't make a massive difference, I don't think. So if you wanted to bring it a little bit closer in, you could bring this down. Say you wanted to bring it down to 85. See how that feels? Brings it a little bit closer. Or closer still, you could. Is it too close? And even still, you're getting closer into the cockpit. Is that more of a? You're gonna, I mean, I think I'd like to see more of the wheels. You could try it. For it to come out and get you a bit more, you might get to see a bit more of the apex. For me, I just can't see where my tyres are, so I'm not really able to judge where the tyres are sat. So coming back down to speed sensitivity, maybe take it back out to 90. See much more of my tyres when I'm coming in to be able to hit those apexes. It does feel so much better. Don't know if that's good or not. But yeah, mess around with it, change the field of view, see if it helps. I think it's certainly something that I'll look at more if I'm playing in one car format. Not sure what I'm on about there, but what different class, one type of class, that's what I'm looking for. If you're racing in one type of class, just see how, whether making these sort of differences makes a difference to your lap time, whether you can see more into a bend, whether it gives you a greater sense of speed. Just something worth looking at, I think. Thanks for watching.